Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to Tea with a Druid, number 363. My name is Philip Cargom, and Tea with a Druid is brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. And I can see that as everybody's gathering in the circle together, we have participants from London and Redditch and Sierra Nevada and Northern California, and the Chilterns and Oxfordshire and Norway and North Germany and Bristol and Canada and Santa Cruz, California, Orkney, West Sussex, New York, Essex, British Columbia, Prague, and Finland, Massachusetts, Aberdeen, Germany, South Wales. Great to see you. Lovely to see you. Do make yourself comfortable, and you are very welcome here. Really welcome. And I apologize if the internet is poor. Hopefully we should be okay, but we've been having some trouble with it today. So there you go. But it's been a beautiful, beautiful day. And let's check in. Let's lots of things happening in the outer world, but in our own individual lives and worlds, things can be very different, of course. So let's just take a moment to, as we gather in the circle together, to tune in and just be present to this time. It's just about a week before the solstice. And just see how you're feeling. Kind of take this opportunity to come to rest and to settle. We've got half an hour to spend together, seeking connection, peace, calm, comfort, inspiration. And just tune in and ask yourself what you need. What is it that you need right now? At the kind of deepest level, the question wants to sink to. This could be the soul level, like deep soul level, could be emotional level. And if you're in a playful and frivolous mood, and that's fine too. It might be something like, I need a fizzy drink. Who knows? I don't know. So just whatever, but whatever depth the question wants to be answered from, just pop up to the surface and then type in what comes to you. And I see that Michelle says compassion and tea with a druid. That's nice to hear. Yeah. Some stress in the muscles because I made a stone circle. Oh, congratulations. Wow. Solidarity, reassurance. I need a sense of community, a bit of inspiration, I guess. Some Arwen would be nice. Solidarity of Obod, calming support, peace and creativity, uplifted after. Sorry, it's going really fast. The meditation we're about to engage in, your calming voice, hope, more peace and calm, softening in my body, calmness, contentment, hopeful, courage, purpose, peace, calm, sound judgment in the world, gentle tenderness, company, connection, a blanket and a cuppa after a long but lovely day. I feel complete. I had a good weekend. Treats, clearing the brain fog, peace, an end to genocide, a place to call home, misty, for my newly planted trees to grow and thrive, knowledge. And this is answer the question what we need for those of you who are arriving late, to free my mind, wellness, connectivity and peace, calm. I need cooler weather, a cool foot bath. Still stunned by the hundreds that showed up for No Kings here in Ruby Red, Ohio. Health, to keep going with the flow, settling in after traveling. Community and ways to express what has been learned and building. Peace and connection. I need a snack. We need more druids, more common sense in the world. I meant thousands, it was thousands. Belonging, purity of soul, an authentic life. Well, what an interesting collection of needs. I need rest. Yesterday I went for a very long walk. That it was incredibly long. It's the most beautiful day, and we're doing a walk at the solstice, and I decided to trial run it so that I didn't mislead our friends and take them in the wrong direction. And so at about 5 in the evening, I set off, and I was walking up on the downs, high up, for 3 hours in the breeze and the sunshine. So I need to rest. It's been a very busy. May has been an incredibly busy month, but today I'm feeling contented, because in an author's life, you have every book project, in my experience, is bookended by 2 moments that are joyous, and then a lot of slog in the middle. So the moment that's joyous is if you're lucky enough, the lunch with the publisher, the breakfast with the publisher. And this was, for me, this was a lovely breakfast in Lewes with a publisher who wanted to meet me and offer me a book contract. And he came up with the title. He had the title already, and the title was The Long Man and Friends. And he asked me to write it. And so that was lovely. And it's always nice to kind of celebrate something over a meal and so on. And here we are a year or so later, probably about 18 months later. And just a few hours ago, some boxes of the book arrived. So the book has been born today, as it were. It's being officially published on the 21st of June. But I'm like any proud parent, I can't resist showing you the new offspring. Here's the book. It's a hardback. It's a paperback size, like a normal paper bag, but it's actually a hardback. When you take the soft cover off, you find this nice little hardback book, and it's very beautifully produced with an ex libris space there, and its own, what are they called, ribbon marker in place there, and then it's full. It's called The Long Man and Friends, Sacred Sussex, by Philip Carr-Gomm, and I invited David Bramwell to join me in the project as well. David Bramwell, who you will know from Adventures in Utopia, the wonderful podcast series that he created for the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, and the book has these lovely woodcut illustrations in it, and it has a series of, I'll tell you how, it's 9 walks exploring the magical landscape of Sussex. So we've created 9 very special walks, and we've created a gazetteer of sacred sites, holy wells, stones, magical stones, trees, ancient sites, chalk gods, and so on. And I've got the link. They'll be in the store tomorrow. I'll put a note in the store in case you want to. It's not expensive at all, actually. It's only £8.95. It's a little hardback book. So there you go. And I decided to go on walk number 9, which is a walk that takes you up on the hills above Lewes because a friend who I met coming out of a meditative sleep. I fell asleep on the Tump in Lewes, which is like our little Silbury Hill in Lewes, kind of, I don't know, 30 years ago or something. And I was writing The Druid Way, that book about a journey I took from the Tump to the Long Man, to this very spot and back again. And I fell asleep in a sort of meditative way. And when I came out, there was this guy standing next, and he said hello, and I said hello, and we've become friends. And he's actually a keen archaeologist, an amazing scientist who works for Greenpeace. He's a professor. Elder is asking, it's £8.95. It's supposed to be £10, but it's sort of reduced to $8.95 because of Amazon, you know, the usual business. Oh dear, I need yet another book, says Kathy. Yes, that's right. Anyway, the reason, why am I talking about? Oh yeah, and Andy, he has discovered that the 7 highest mounds in the hills above Lewis, which are ancient barrows, ancient burial sites, just happen to match the Pleiades. And the Pleiades, the 7 sisters, just happen to match, happens to be the oldest story in the world. It's found on every continent in the world. Every culture, the Maori culture, you find them all over the place, these very early archaeological remains and so on. So it's an incredibly powerful ancient story. And he makes no claims for it. He's very careful not to go woo-woo. So he says, look, all I did is I got the Ordnance Survey maps and I got them to give me the 7 highest points above the hills of Lewis, just down there, the 7 highest points. And when I looked at them, I thought, hang on a minute, they're in a pattern that is the pattern of the Pleiades. Now that may be a coincidence, who knows? Might be a coincidence, but they just happen to be. So isn't that interesting? And he took me on the walk. So I said, well, that sounds like a great walk for our book. And he took me on the walk with a few friends in the winter, and it was terrible weather. It was pouring with rain, driving wind. It was just like we were battling the elements. And yeah, so Jules is saying, what is the name of the book? I'll hold it up again. The Long Man and Friends. Anyway, that's the walk. Anyway, I did it on a good day yesterday, and my God, it's beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, the whole walk couldn't be included in the book because parts of it were illegal. They involved trespassing, and I thought, well, we can't publish that. So in the book, you get to 5. But it just felt it was kind of, I shouldn't publicize places that are not legally accessible. So there you go. So I'm happy because that's been published. And David Bramwell and I are doing various events in Sussex, a hotel in Brighton on Sunday, and the Mint in Pevensey, and so on. But they're all sold out. Each event has been sold out, which is extraordinary. So that's going to be happening this week. But we're going to be at the summer solstice ceremony at the Long Man of Wilmington on Sunday. And that happens if you happen to be in the area. And David and I will bring along some books, and we'll just chat to people informally about it, because the wonderful thing about the Long Man ceremonies is that there's the Long Man Inn nearby. So after the ceremony, everybody retires to the Long Man Inn. And we block off a whole bunch of places in the pub. 2 o'clock. It's at the car park at 2 o'clock. At the Long Man. So we'll be there. So meditation, calm, peace. Everybody, well, a lot of people, when I asked, it was very interesting. I don't think I've ever asked that before. What do you feel you need at this present moment? So it's really interesting. And lots of people said calm. For reserve druids, no, I think Naomi might be telling a very in joke there. She's saying for reserved druids. In case she's being serious, I'll say, no, anybody can come. It's open. You don't have to reserve a place, and it's not just reserved for druids. But what she's meaning is, I think, is that when you go into the pub, they've written reserved druids on the tables, all the tables that we've reserved. So since druids are the least reserved, I was being silly. I thought, yes, since druids are the least reserved kinds of people, people photograph, members of the order photograph themselves next to this sign saying reserved druids. So let me show you. As we address this issue of what do we want? We want calm and peace. Let me show you this beautiful figure. It's called a Siddha Chakra Yantra, And it's an image. I'm trying to find the best way to display it to you. I don't know if you can see it, but it's essentially a plate of metal, and it's made up of, I believe, 7 metals. I received it in the most beautiful, synchronistic, magical way. And it's an image of the moment of enlightenment of the great Jain Tirthankara Mahavira. The Tirthankara is an illumined one who's gained enlightenment, and he is the ford maker. He creates the ford between the worlds, between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And this is an image of the moment of enlightenment. And of course, it's lovely because we have it in a room where we can see it up against the clouds and the sky. Here you can see it up against the trees there. And of course, it's no image. It's depicting the idea that of absolute clarity and illumination that, you know, is the complete loss of the ego, the complete loss of a sense of self. And yet, interestingly, in Jain doctrine, they believe that the self with a capital S, the soul, continues after enlightenment. So hence the outline. So a lot of teaching in here. But the reason I'm showing it to you now is, of course, it's reminiscent of the Long Man. The Long Man of Wilmington, as you know, this figure that is just up the road is just an outline as well. It's just the outline of a form. It's not. We have to say, well, why are we calling it a man? Why is it a long man? If it was the Cerne Abbas giant, if we were in Dorset looking at the local chalk figure, we would know it was a man. But this you don't really know. It's just the outline. And yet, with this simplest shape, we're able to be inspired in some way. So let's take this idea of openness and let's go into a meditation. And let's do this in the forest. You know, the way we meditate in the sacred grove. If you're new to Tea with a Druid, what we do is we imagine that we're in a sacred clearing in the forest, which is from time immemorial has been accepted by people all over the world, in India, right the way across the Indo-European arc, through the Middle East, through to Ireland, that a clearing in the forest could be used as a sacred site in which to worship the gods or to attune with the divine. And so modern day Druids use this, and they not only create physical groves, but groves in their imaginations. And when you start training in the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, one of the first exercises we begin with is training in how to develop your own internal inner sacred grove. And so you might like to imagine that you're gradually the walls around you are just gently starting to dissolve, feeling fully present here and now, facing your screen. But then as you relax into being fully here and now, the walls around you dissolve. The floor beneath you, the ceiling above you fade away as you find yourself coming into or already being in the sacred clearing of the Druids. And in this sacred place, you feel connected to the earth and sky, to the trees around you. And you close your inner eyes and just take in a slow, deep breath. Hold for a moment, and then breathe out fully and deeply. Another slow, deep breath in. Hold, and you breathe out fully and deeply, becoming aware of the earth beneath you, seated in this circle, here now. You feel the presence of the earth, and you feel the energy of the earth, the way it flows up your body, your energy field, bringing you a sense of stability and calm. And as you breathe out, you realize you can just let go completely, just allowing all your weight, all the stresses of the day, just to drop down, just to drop down. And as you breathe in the vitality of the earth beneath you. Breathing in this earth energy, breathing out, relaxing and letting go. As you relax and let go, that creates more space for the earth energy, the healing energy of the earth to flow up into you. And you become aware now of the roots of the trees drawing sustenance from the earth. You sense how these roots flow up through the earth until they become the trunks. These trunks that rise up from the surface of the ground, providing this sense of stability and strength. And you sense the presence of all the trees in the grove now, in the circle around you. Living beings. Dear trees, we admire you, we love you. We understand that our lives depend on your lives. And we breathe in and breathe out, breathing in the energy and the odor of the trees. And we feel ourselves energized by tree energy. Scientific research tells us now that when we breathe in a forest, elements of the tree actually enter into our bloodstream. The essential oils that they exude are breathed in through our lungs and they enter into our bloodstream, boosting our immune system. Extraordinary to think that we can breathe in tree essences as we walk in the forest. And as we sit here in the sacred grove, we can imagine we're breathing in these tree essences. May we be invigorated and blessed by the energy of the trees. And then you become aware of the branches soaring above you, the leaves of the trees, the sunlight dappling in the leaves, the air gently moving the leaves, the breeze flowing through the crowns of the trees. And you breathe in this air energy now, this sky energy. And you feel it flowing down in to your energy body and your physical body, bringing with it a very particular kind of energy. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And now let's do, if it feels okay for you, let's try doing this. Just try it and only do it if it feels okay. But you remember the image of the Mahavira and of the long man, the long person of Wilmington. Just this empty space. So let's now just spend a little while tuning into ourselves, our physical bodies, our energy bodies, and sensing them as just open spaces, delineated by a boundary. So the invitation is not to dissolve. There's a sense of a boundary. There is you and not you. within this boundary, there is just openness. We can allow little kind of pockets of resistance and tension just to melt and just to disappear. Just feeling a sense of openness, the breeze flowing through us. The light of the sun, the green of the trees, fully present to us because there's nothing in the way. In the Jain tradition, they have this interesting idea that karma manifests as a kind of dust within the aura, within the energy field. And that as you work off your karma, this dust just disappears, just as a whiff of smoke might disappear from looking at an autumn fire and you just see a whiff of smoke disappearing. So you might like to imagine that just a few little whiffs of smoke here and there just gently float away, so that now you are like an open sky, a clear sky on a bright morning. Still grounded by the earth, still sensing the trees around you, the sky above you, but feeling clear and open. And then gradually moving your awareness down to your feet and just gradually scanning up your body, sensing your limbs appearing. You're becoming aware of your body now and your clothing. Just aware of your body. The color comes back, the form, you sense the form. And sensing the form with compassion, with love, you start to become aware of the form of your limbs, your torso. You might even find yourself moving gently, aware of the magic of having muscles that can help your body to move. You sense your arms, your shoulders now, your hands, your wrists, palms, your neck, then your jaw, your face, ears, eyes, nose, top of the head. The whole body now, you feel the whole body able to having glimpsed, having tasted this sense of clarity and openness, and now manifesting in form. This is you in form now. And at that point, you gently open your eyes, your inner eyes in the sacred grove, and you sense the forms of everyone else gathered in the circle with their forms, each form different. And you may be somebody who sees things very clearly in meditation, or you may just have a sense of it, or you may not see things at all. You may just sense it. But there's everybody here, 280 of us in this circle, all in our physical forms, having tasted clarity and openness, no thingness. Now we are in form. We are informed, embodied beings. And you sense your hands naturally drifting out to either side, to take the hands of those to either side of you. May this circle be blessed. May our community be blessed. May we find strength and solidarity together. May the harmony we experience in this circle be a harmony that radiates out throughout the world. May peace prevail on earth. May harmony reign on earth. You squeeze the hands to either side of you. Gently allow your hands to drift down to the earth, to place your palms on the earth. May the earth be blessed. May the land be blessed. And then you sense your hands lifting up and drifting towards your heart, placing your hands on your heart. May my life be blessed. May all lives be blessed. And as you feel the warmth of your hands on your heart, you feel that warmth spreading through your body. And your awareness of your body starts to grow as your awareness of being in the sacred grove begins to fade. And as your awareness of the body begins to grow, so you become aware too of the four walls around you, the floor beneath you and the ceiling above you, the screen in front of you. And feeling fully present here and now, when you feel ready, and only when you feel ready, you gently open your eyes. Carol says, I'm recovering from back surgery and in a lot of pain, but this is helping me. That's good to hear, Carol. And on This Magical Life podcast, you'll see there's some healing meditations that we've put up. They're healing meditations that I did some time ago, and you might find them helpful for something like that. I'll give you the name of the book again. Terry Caldwell Stanisha. You know, people say we do not know what the Druids did because they did not write it down. I say we do know. We feel what to do because the earth has always been there. Exactly. I couldn't agree more with you. Good. Well, look, thank you so much. And we're moving towards the solstice. So have a wonderful solstice. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it'll be the winter solstice. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it'll be the summer solstice. And have a wonderful solstice. And I will see you sort of within the solstice period, just a day or so afterwards, next Monday. Okay, so much love, many blessings. Okay. Bye.